Hi, I'm the Book Tart, and I wanted to tell you about a delightful chick lit contemporary romance-ish novel I just finished. It's called Unmasking Maya, and it's by Libby Mercer. And this book is so much fun, and there's heart, and it made me laugh out loud. I was highlighting through the entire book, and it also made me nearly cry. There's a lot of depth to this story, and the characters, Libby makes you feel for these characters. I was with Maya on her journey, and along with her for the fun and the joy and the pain sometimes, and the hope. And I liked Derek in his geeky goodness, and they're definitely opposites. Okay, so Maya is starting fresh, starting a new life with a new name, new hair, new contacts, a little bit slimmer because of the stress of what happened to her. She's had to remake herself. She left her high fashion job in on the East Coast in New York City to come to San Francisco, to the laid-back West Coast. And it's totally different. She feels like a fish out of water. She also doesn't have the money and the job that she had because of slander and lies, and she had to leave town, and a job she loved. And she's an artist. She has taken her her fashion design, and now she makes textile art, and she's Maya, the artist, and has her showing in San Francisco. And she's living in a little bitsy apartment, and she has clothes and boxes everywhere. And I loved her courage and her bravery at just starting over and starting fresh. And she's not all gloom and doom about it. I'm sure she was frustrated, but it didn't read hopeless. It read hopeful and inspiring. And she meets Derek, and he's the CEO of a tech company. He's very cerebral, very smart, very... they aren't on the same page at first, and it takes a bit for her to see past his cold surface, and he's hiding a lot of pain, and they get a chance to open up to each other. There's chemistry there, and that part's delicious. So like I said, blazed through this novel. I love the character development, and I want to read you a bit from this story. This whole story it read clever and witty, and I loved the dialogue, and I loved her internal monologue. I loved that Maya spoke. She had a lot of the same thoughts that I would. Oh, and the secondary characters, I really liked Lynn. She worked in the software company, and she became Maya's friend, and I loved that relationship. And I loved all the San Francisco world building. Felt like I was there, which the author is. So you can feel that love of that town, and the hill climbing and the rolling down the hill. And when you get to that part, you'll know. And the galleries and the art and the geeks of Silicon Valley and how they talk to each other, and the nerd shirts, and yeah, so much fun. Okay, so let's see, what should I read? Dun, 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 dun. This is going to be semi-random-ish. So, let's see. Okay, you look perplexed. It says this is 36% of the Kindle. You look perplexed. I snapped out of my thoughts and turned to Derek. Oh, I'm just soaking up the atmosphere, letting it all sink in so I can process it later and then express it in a stunning piece of fabric art. It's what we artists do, I deadpanned. His expression didn't change. I'm kidding. He shook his head and laughed to himself. You are a strange one. You should talk. You think I'm strange? He inquired. You think you're not? He cupped his chin in his hand. I suppose everyone is strange to some degree in their own unique way. Way to point out the obvious, Sherlock. And up went the eyebrow, right on cue. I reminded myself that he was the boss man and vowed to behave. I was digging the banter, though. Strange as it seemed, I felt myself starting to decompress. Listen, I'm sorry about earlier during the game, I said. That whole in-your-face thing, Guess I got a bit carried away. Well, that was nothing. You should have heard some of the verbal abuse flying around after you all left. I laughed. Pretty bad, huh? Yeah, but all in good fun. Everyone works so hard, so it's nice to step out of our roles once in a while and let loose on the field. This was after the company picnic, where her team beat his team. Well, yeah. I loved this book, and I enjoyed Libby Mercer's writing style, and I loved watching Maya's adventures and see how she handled the challenges that came in her way. And like I said, there's emotional ups and downs, there's joy and there's sadness and pain, and seeing her work through that, and Derek as well, because I really like Derek. Yeah. Unmasking Maya by Libby Mercer. If you like contemporary romance or chick lit, clever dialogue, funny characters, heart and humor, pick up this book. Thanks from the Book Tart.